Friday night sound session with John Moore and DJ Hyphen on KUBE 93.
Nice. Okay, so since only a couple of those songs have come out, I think it's kind of safe to say that at least for hip-hop fans and nerds like myself, like Bad Meets Evil is going to go down as one of those all-time, like, unrealized potential groups at the moment.
Yeah.
So what, you know, has there been talk about future stuff? Like, maybe more so than, like, guest appearances here and there and collabs here and there, but perhaps actually revisiting this thing?
It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. I know I'm excited at the possibility of being able to get in there with M with the Slaughterhouse project. That even being a possibility excites me. You know, so like I really try and just think one thing at a time. Like I think if we can get in there and work on the Slaughterhouse thing, I think it can open doors for a lot more work with just me and him. You know, because then we get back around each other, back familiar with how each other work now. Because I think I could give him a little more run for his money now than I could back then, because he used to just wipe the floors with me back then.
Really? I was going to say, I had another question about this, because we literally used to have arguments in high school and in college about like who came better on certain songs, and you would have given it to M on pretty much every one of those?
Nah, I don't think I won ever.
Wow.
I think that was like it was like a rap lesson. Like I learned like half of the stuff that I know, like the technical part of my style, comes from him. Just little stuff I picked up from him, and I was such a student back then, even though I still am now. But now I'm more seasoned, and I can take what I've learned and put it more into my stuff now. So I just want to see how it's gonna work now, us being around each other and working.
Yeah.
Maybe I can possibly show him something, so I could say something or brag about something. But I don't know, man. I think I can give him a little more run for his money now, even though he'll probably still wipe the floors with me. But
it's not like too many people are giving him that much competition.
Exactly.
I remember when you guys were all out here, we asked you, like, who would you put in your own super group? And to a man, everyone said, first and foremost, like, M.
Yeah.
Obviously in it. How does it feel to have, like, a friend and a colleague be, you know, hands down one of the greatest MCs of all time?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It feels great. I've been getting asked this question for 11 years.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Like
and you're going to be asked it probably for 30, 40 more years.
Yeah, I'm like I said, man, listen, I'm excited. Maybe it's a possibility that I can perform now that I'm performing close to my peak of my potential. Like I want to get around him and show him what I could do now, because I know that he's near the peak of his potential. You know what I'm saying? So I think I'm scared to see what we might come up with.
Yeah. Do you remember like one thing specifically that you took from like a bar of his or a line of his or something that you saw him do?
Well, he taught me how to pronounce words, like pronounce them and make them rhyme.
Yeah. The one I always look at is 4-inch screws and orange juice. Like in Brain Damage or whatever.
Yeah. 4-inch screws.
Like I never would have put those words together.
Because do you know how long I was in the booth when we hit the trees till we look like Vietnamese people?
Yeah.
Because I was saying when we hit the trees, like I was pronouncing every word.
Yep.
But he taught me how to slur it out. But we hit the trees till we look like Vietnamese people.
Yep.
Like, but he was saying it like that, telling me say it just like this. So like once it clicked in my head, it was like, oh, like that's one secret he taught me with flow. You know what I'm saying? And I factor that into my stuff now, and I think that's one of the reasons why everybody be like, yo, man, your flow. That's the first thing they say. It's not like I can come up with the best lines in the world, but I'll come with that flow that match that beat. Make it a perfect marriage.
The flow kind of takes over the lines, takes precedence over the lines, I feel like. Because there are a lot of MCs that spit great lines, but they work so hard to set them up, and it's so obvious when they're like forcing in words to fit.
I hate that.
Yeah, man. That's the worst. But the one I always think is like when they're writing thing, you can tell they're writing, and then they have to write down the side of the page. to like they're going and they keep writing to fill in all the lines.
Yeah, I try and make it like another instrument.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like my voice is another instrument in the beat.
Well, that's
People
how it should
appreciate
be.
that.
Yeah, that's how it was back when it was just chanting and Jamaica and stuff. It was part of the instrument. Yeah. So aside from the Slaughterhouse homies, are there any MCs out there right now that like really impress you? Not just to like, yo, he's dope, but kind of like this guy is kind of all-time dope, or has the potential to be all-time dope.
Yeah, if you want to just talk about straight up MCs.
Yeah, like people you listen to and
guys
really
like
respect.
Jadakiss and Fabulous, like those two, they automatically stick out in my head because it's like, it's only but so much props that they gonna get. They might not go down as one of the greats, but they great to me.
What about them? It's great.
Well, I mean, if you just want to just look at MCing, if you want to look at MCing, if you want to just go verse for verse, let's not talk about record sales. Let's not talk about hits. let's not even talk about versatility. Let's just talk about MCing. You know what I'm saying? You put all of us in an open mic back when it was fun for us to just go rap. No strings attached. Like Jadakiss, Fabulous, guys like that. Those are dudes you're going to pal up with. When you go to the open mic, you're going to end up being friends with those dudes because it's like you respect what they do.
Yeah.
They're going to get oohs and ahs all day. It's not about the politics of it. You know what I'm saying?
That's kind of like someone like Freeway. Like, Freeway just strikes me as someone who loves to rap.
Yeah, and you would like Freeway too, man, because he had that style that nobody else in the building is doing. You know what I'm saying? So you would just respect that because of his voice, and he took the time to come with his own thing.
Yeah.
You know, so I can respect that, man.
What about other artists from the D? Like, every time we have someone out, like we had Fat Cat out, LSI, Black Milk, all these people, we always ask them, like, what is it about Detroit that breeds these kind of MCs? Because not only are you guys dope technically, but, like, there's a passion in a Detroit rapper that is sometimes present in other cities, but, like, is almost always present in Detroit. Even if their bars aren't even really that hot, like, there's a passion with the Detroit MC at times.
I never been able to explain that, man. Like,
Yeah.
I see it. I understand that it's there, man, that passion, and I know exactly what you're talking about. I just don't know where it comes from. I guess it's because, I mean, it all started in Detroit, in Motown. It all kind of started there. So it's like, you know, it went from R&B. You know, Berry Gordy obviously got up and moved to L.A., but that doesn't mean anything. It's still Detroit. You know, like our grandmothers and grandfathers, like all of us come from musical backgrounds. And, you know, it's a rhythm thing. It's a rhythm thing. I just think everybody got it. And then, like, that whole alliance that we got, back in the day, the Hip Hop Shop, the Ebony Showcase, all of us was like one team. And then the light flashed on us at once, at the same time.
Yeah.
So we just kind of kept it moving from there.
Is there someone in Detroit that maybe the rest of us wouldn't necessarily think of that's kind of like really influential to you, or someone who you'd like, man, I don't know why the rest of us kind of were able to branch off and he wasn't necessarily able to, or at least to the level that he deserved?
I never thought Esham got the props he deserved.
He always got kind of pinholed into like he's only murdercore or horrorcore or whatever they called it.
And that might be the case. That might be the case. That might be the reason. But I mean, just growing up, man, all of us, even him, everybody looked up to Esham.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he was like a local hood hero to us. You know, so I thought if anybody had the capability to get out there and just really get it, because he was riding around in BMWs back in the day, so he was rich to us anyway. But I think he could have accomplished more.
Yeah.
It's like Tech Nine. It's like having Tech Nine in your neighborhood.
Tech Nine is crazy. You're on tour with him right now.
Yes.
He has one of the most dedicated fan bases that's possible in hip-hop. No real major radio play, video play.
I like to say all of his fans are under hypnosis. They all robots. They come to the meet and greets. They come to the shows with their faces painted.
Yeah.
Man, it's like a cult.
See, you kind of know about that stuff, though, because weren't ICP from Detroit?
Yeah, ICP
so you've
is from
seen this
Detroit.
kind of just
Yeah, you know what? I've
cult
seen it.
following.
I've never been to an ICP show, though.
Yeah.
I've never been to an ICP show, but yeah, it's the same thing. Like the big compounds with merchandise stacked up in the big building, and you know they doing $1 million plus every year in merchandise. Same thing with Tech Nine. ICP is the same thing.
That's crazy. So what about new MCs? We got the Jay-Z show coming through on Saturday, and one of my favorite new MCs is J. Cole. I'm not sure if you've heard him or heard his stuff, but whenever I hear him, the only reason I bring this up, there's no real connection, but I hear him and he just spits hard.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminds me of your style a little bit, just in the tenacity that he's rapping with. Like, have you heard J. Cole? Do you like his stuff?
Of course. Yeah, I like J. Cole. Actually, I love J. Cole. I love, you know what I like about him the most? His flow. He got a crazy flow. And that it goes back to what we was talking about. He's young, but he's able to make his voice an instrument in the beat, and I'm pretty sure that's what Jay-Z hears when he's listening to him. And that's what makes him stick out to me from everybody. I think he's a step ahead of everybody else in the new school in terms of that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to let up. Like, there's no breath.
He keep going. He knows where to take his breaths at.
Yep.
I've never seen him perform, but I listen to him on the beat, and he sound real polished. You know what I'm
Nice.
saying? So I like that dude.
Sunday night sound session with John Moore and DJ Hyphen on KUBE 93.